Hi, I'm Mark, and welcome to What's Brewing. Today we're sitting down with Suzanne D'Ambrosio, a real estate agent with Latter Blum, for part two of her interview. But before we get into it, let's go ahead and roll that beautiful B-roll. Suzanne, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me back.
So, pardon me. At the end of our last video, we started talking more about community and everything like that. So, what are some of the things that you've been currently doing that's been helping either businesses in the community or things like that?
Well, one thing I do is because I love our community so much, I love Broussard so much, and I love other businesses in the Acadiana area, but I noticed that some doors were starting to shut in Broussard, and I said, what more can we do? We need to be doing something. So I started making sure to post about them. Like I'd go to their businesses and maybe take a picture, and I try to tag them and make sure that they're getting some recognition. And we always try to encourage, when we get good service, we always want to encourage them and tell them that they did a great job. And I've even encouraged them to, for their future, I can see them being and doing other things. I've talked to people at stores that wanted to go into real estate, and I said, let's sit down. I'm happy to tell you about it. So I do that. And also I love the animal shelter in New Iberia. I have a real heart for that shelter because I just feel like they don't get much funding. And there's so many dogs that need homes. I've partnered with Pizza Artista in Broussard. We've had 2 or 3 pet adoption events that were really successful, and that makes me happy to help the shelter. I just love helping the community. I love our businesses. I love the people here. So anytime I can help the community, I feel like that's a big part of what I do. Yes, I sell real estate, and I'm good at real estate, but I also love our community and want to help the community. So there's a big range about Suzanne, and that's why I'm on the chamber, why I'm on the board for the Broussard Chamber, because I love this community so much. And I just love how we all work together so well. And we all seem to have a common goal, and that's because we love the community so much. So it makes me really proud to be part of the Broussard Chamber.
That's right. You have such a big heart.
Thank you. I
Like,
do.
you really do.
I do. I have, my little stepdaughter says, Miss Suzanne, you're so sweet. And I thought that kind of sums it up. She considers me sweet, and I think that when people know me, that's what they see about me is I'm genuine. I'm not going to be fake, and I'm going to show compassion and care.
It's very rare that we come across people like yourself.
Aw.
And it's very awesome to hear all the amazing things you're starting to do and all the things that you currently are doing and the things that you're setting up for the future. So within that realm, what are with you said you're on the chamber board. How did you end up getting involved with the animal shelter in New Iberia? I know you said you have a passion, it's underfunding.
Gosh, I don't know if I just started seeing posts on Facebook. And so what I started doing is, after I have a closing, I give a donation to the shelter. I send a check to the shelter, and then I send a card to my client saying, because of your closing, I was able to make a donation to the shelter. And then I started going out there, and sometimes I would make a video trying to bring recognition. And last Christmas, they had Santa Claus out there with the dogs, and then Santa went around with treats and the dogs went wild. So I went and bought a whole bunch of treats, and we brought them. It just made me cry. I love animals so much that I feel like they don't have a voice, and I want them to have homes. And so that to me is so important. Um, I just have so much heart for the dogs.
Well, I'll say if you want to take a moment and look at the camera and tell them about where they can maybe reach out to help out with the organization.
Well, it's the Iberia Parish Animal Control. It's on Seaway Access Road in New Iberia. I'm sure right now they're looking for donations. They have an Amazon page. I just donated some kitten chow and some kitten formula because they were desperately in need. And I brought blankets last year. I think I bought 20 blankets last year, and I was so worried about them being cold. It's just my heart. I can't help it.
That's just amazing. So I want to go into one last question.
Hmm.
So between the two interviews, we talked about your journey to get here. We talked about the work you've done in the community.
Hmm.
What are some of the things that you're seeing for down the road in the future?
Oh my goodness, that's a good question. I just want to, I think for me, it's just helping more people and meeting more wonderful people, building those relationships in the community. At one time, I thought maybe I'd run for city council, but I don't think that's in my plans anymore. I just want to just help people find great homes. I love what I do. It's in real estate, and I love helping the community. So just supporting the community. That makes me happy.
Well, I gotta say, I can tell just from sitting across how much it does make you happy, because the minute you started talking about a lot of these things, you just started to brighten up. It really is. Suzanne, thank you so much for joining us for this interview.
Thank you, Mark. Thanks so much for inviting me.
Hey, no
It was my
problem.
pleasure.
Definitely. Hopefully one day we might be able to have you back.
I would love that. Thank you.
Well, that's going to do it for us here over at What's Brewing. If you like what you saw here, don't forget to hit that like button, crush that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to keep up to date with videos as they've released. But until the next one, have a good one.